Woo! Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope you're doing well. Lighting seems to be a problem here. Looks like I'm got the dark side of the moon to my, what is this, stage right? I don't know. Anyway, hello, Mashtradamus. Thank you for being here this evening. Appreciate it. Oh, my mouse is, oh man. I got water on my mouse pad. You know that is, because then nothing works. Happy Father's Day. Thanks, Shane. Thank you very much, man. Watching the 76ers, I assume. I know I was waiting for halftime there. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I have to say, I had a really great weekend. I had a phenomenal weekend. Sandy, ready? Let's see if we can see Sandy run up the stairs. Maybe not. I had a great weekend. As I think I talked to you guys on Friday morning, I was heading off to basketball camp, and I did survive. That's very important. Hello, happy Father's Day, Michael. It's to you as well. I have to say, I'm pulling for the 76ers fan here as well because I don't think the Hawks can beat the Bucks. I'm not cheering for the Bucks right now. I'm definitely going to talk about Giannis. Like, is Giannis' card going to go up because he made it to the finals, the Eastern Finals? Will they go if he makes it to the finals? Will they go if he wins a ring? And at what point does this card hit the bottom? I mean, it's did it hit the bottom already? I definitely want to chat about that tonight. I'm going to drop a link in a few moments to invite other people in. I keep picking up my water. My water's wet, and then my hand's wet, and I touch the mouse pad, and stuff doesn't work. Happy Father's Day. Yeah, I love his videos with Avery too, dude. I think those are just pure fun. What kind of got the hobby going for everybody, right? Happy Father's Day to you and all the dads out there. Absolutely, DJ. You as well, man. And for those who don't know their fathers yet, surprise. No. Let's see. Let's talk about sports a little bit. So we're at halftime right now. First of all, I would say I love Game 7s. I think there's nothing better than what we have right now in basketball season. We don't know who the champion's going to be. LeBron's out. KD's out, man. It's going to be somebody new, something exciting. Even Giannis will be new. If he takes the Bucks to a championship, that's going to be new and exciting. 76ers, could they do it? Are they going to get a championship? Is it East versus West? The Suns look damn good today. I have to say the Clippers look good today, too. I mean, the Clippers looked really good for a team that's got no Kawhi. And they just seem to be deep. So I'm super, super excited. And it does make me think, I want to just remind you guys, right? Because I think in a few weeks, we're going to be bummed because we're only going to be down to one sport. Well, that's not true. I guess we'll have some soccer still going on and some other stuff. But when basketball stops, I normally feel kind of down because then you have, I guess, the All-Star game in baseball. But things are just slow in the summer. I really miss it. Yeah, man, the Clippers have them just where they want them, too. They lose the first 2 games and they come back and just kill you in the next 4, right? Wouldn't that be hilarious if they did that again? I mean, they've already set records by doing it twice. Now, I will take a look at, in fact, I'll share my screen and do this too with everybody. We'll refresh it live. And can I do window? Is that possible? Window, that's not really going to help me. I guess that's what I could do in the future. Boom. Okay, so let's refresh. We'll go here and do market movers. Market movers. Killed my window for some reason. So we're pulling live recent eBay sales data of the sales of the basketball rookies. And let's see who's doing what. First of all, Deshaun's been holding some ground here at 566. I'm pretty impressed with that. Luka, 844. Was 8 the floor. His card, I think, dipped lower than that. We'll hit the graph on that in a second and come back. Trey, look, Trey is up, but how's $300, man? This guy was a lot higher. If he wins a night, does his card go up? Think about that. And maybe not at all. In fact, let me just say this. I don't even know why I mentioned it. I guess I'm just interested in watching this. I'm not recommending this to anybody to buy or sell. I'm just interested in seeing what happens. I have no – I'll tell you about unneeded cards. I think I have a Trey 9. My boys have Luka 10s. No Zions, no Tatums. I have one LaMelo Ball, but it's off being graded. Joel Embiid, I don't have any. Mitch, I don't think I have any. Jaws, I have being graded. Look at these prices. It just shocks me. It really does. Like even Giannis. So here we have Giannis at 17. I think that might have been Giannis's bottom there. Let's take a look at that in a second. Let's go back here to this is Luka. See, Luka hit his lowest. What was that? 769, 763, and picked up. Does he hold strength? Is that a movement of this is the bottom? I don't know. Part of me, I will say, guys, part of me thinks it's going to go back to pre-COVID prices, which would be a couple $100, but I don't know. Right? Go back here. In November of 2019, so basketball season starting, right? That's after his rookie year, correct? Or is it his rookie year? There he is. And even there, look, he's staying a couple $100. A couple $100 is fair. Then he pops here when COVID hits. Pop. Now he's going up. $300-$400, okay. But COVID, boom. Because March 11th, the NBA shuts down. A little dip, and boom. Crazy card. I feel like switch you guys went out. This is Giannis. And let's look at all his data. Again, pre-COVID, right? This is the fall 2019. Hobby's still strong. Hobby's growing. I mean, $400 or $500. That card was a great card. But man, look at Giannis, $400 or $500 card. That was kind of like the staple. In fact, I'll talk about this in a minute. But let me get back to chat in a second. But look, and then COVID right around here, right? And it hits around 2000. What made it just spike like that? 1,800, 1,500. So that's pre-COVID. So maybe that's where it should be, and that's where it is right now. And now it's backed up a little bit. So let's see if that recovers. Get back over here. I'm also going to drop a chat here for a second. Let me just see any more. Wander Franco being called up Tuesday. Are you serious? That's pretty big news. Isn't that pretty big news, everybody? That's news to me. Michael, thanks for sharing that. What does that mean for his card prices? Giannis is up. I mean, $1,700. That could be the low. I don't know. I still think it ends up being around 1,000 to 1,500. But he wins a ring. I assume he goes up, right? I just can't stand Trey. I feel like he's a modern Isaiah Thomas. I can see that. I know what you mean. I do think like Lucas seems more likable. Zion seems more likable. I don't know. I don't like Ben Simmons. I'm not a Ben Simmons fan at all. But that's probably being unfair. Let's sell the cash. That's not a bad point, right? So it'll be interesting. Maybe people are just going to sit on cash and they're going to go to the National and buy then, right? And then until then, doesn't make a difference what cards do. That could be likely. I think we're going to get back to the basics. What I mean by that, I think back to when I was collecting cards before COVID. We would open cards and we would sort our rookie cards and put them aside. Not that we had any plans really to make money off them. In fact, if anything, I was going to send them to ComC, but we never really thought of holding rookie cards to grade them. If you think about this, everybody else, did anybody really grade rookie cards? Like I remember, to me, here's what I remember. I think I remember Giannis cards showing up graded, like, wow, that's pretty cool. It's a PSA 9, PSA 10, BGS 9.5, whatever it was, and people are getting a couple $100 or whatever for it. It's like, wow, that's a great way to take a base card and make some money on it. The first one I remember was Luka, because I remember like it was yesterday that Luka cards were selling, Luka base prisms were selling raw for probably $10 to $20 in Facebook groups. And if you bought them, you would then grade them, and then they were selling on eBay for $125 to $150. And that was huge money, man. That was huge money. And I remember being blown away by it. I'm like, man, because I think I sold like 20 or 30 or 25 of those Lukas for 10 to $20 to somebody. I had a bunch of the base rookies, a bunch of them. I mean, I remember being sick to my stomach thinking back that, what was this comment? Okay, I have 2 gold opted to 10s of Wander Franco at PSA. That is gorgeous. Now it's 19 optics. Okay. Okay. Are those autos or just the cards? Those are still gorgeous, man. Gorgeous cards. They have some print lines, but hopefully they don't get killed. I'm gonna drop a link here and let some people in if they want to come in and chat. It is open mic night. Just hold them when you get them. Kid is awesome. I don't disagree with that. Respect to Trey after his performance in the playoffs so far. Again, I don't disrespect that either. But I would say we've got some exciting young players in basketball right now. Yeah, Franco, PSA 10 auction. Yeah, I say too. I'm a big fan of baseball. I really am. I guess they were called baseball cards longer than anything else. Invite. Let's put this invite. How do I do the invite? There we go. Copy. Okay. I'm gonna drop this in here. If anybody would like to join tonight, open mic night, come in, talk about the hobby, talk about something that's going on in your hobby world, talk about your Father's Day. I'll tell you, part of my Father's Day the weekend, that was one of my highlights. I had a lot of great highlights for the weekend. But one of them was last night, my son played in a basketball tournament. And if he's watching, he'll be very upset that I'm mentioning this. So I'll keep it very brief. But before the game, we're going to the game, and my son says to me, Dad, listen, do me a favor. After the game, just go outside and wait. Don't talk to the parents. Don't talk to my friends. Don't be just go outside. I'm like, okay. My son, I guess, is kind of shy. He's like, and I'm a friendly guy. So normally I'll wait for other kids to walk up and be, hey, blank, blank, good job. Or hey, blank, blank, good job. And I guess one time I got one of the kids' names wrong. So Leo's like, don't embarrass me, Dad. Don't talk to my friend. Just go outside. Okay, so last night they played in what was a little tournament, and it was in a championship game. And my son, I guess, plays like, I don't know. He's not a point guard. I guess he's a shooting guard. But anyway, he played very well in this game, right? I mean, very well. I think in the first half, he had like 12 points. And we're talking, it's U13, by the way. So he did really well in the first half. And he even sat out part of the first half. And when he was sitting out, he's cheering on his team. Like he's pumping the game and everything. Like there's just so much energy in this. Second half, he has a great game. He has some plays where he just goes, up, gets fouled. There's one play where he gets fouled, gets the shot. He's on the ground. He's doing the Luka because he gets the N1. It was an amazing game. So anyway, they end up winning. They had a sizable lead. They held on to the lead when the team came back in the second half. Closed it as close as 6. Leo had a 3, I think it was. Pushed the gap back to 9. They ended up winning the game. And at these tournaments, what they do is all the kids get together. They take a picture with the coaches and the trophy or whatever. These little weekend tournaments. And I saw them doing that, but I'm in the lobby. So I run out of the lobby and I take a quick picture of my son, snap, and then I go back to the lobby and I'm waiting. And as I'm waiting in the lobby, I'm just sitting there and, they're talking to him. The coach talks to the team, everything like that. And as I'm waiting, one of the parents comes out, hey, congrats, that's awesome. Leo got the MVP. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Leo got the tournament MVP. Again, I'm probably embarrassing. Hopefully he's not watching. So I'm sitting outside, and I didn't go back inside to see anything. So he comes out. He walks right over to me. Hey, Dad, let's go. I'm like, you want to get some food or anything? So we start chit-chatting. We go get in the car. We're driving. I said, so I did what you asked to. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't say hi to anybody. I went outside with a lot. He goes, yeah, Dad, thanks. I appreciate it. I said, hey, you played really well. Great game. He goes, yeah, it was fun. And we're driving, and I'm driving. And I said, hey, did they have an MVP? Who won that? And he goes, oh, I did. I said, oh, were you going to tell me that? I mean, were you going to share that with me? So it took him time, and he even laughs. He goes, well, I didn't want to brag about it. I don't know what it was. But he's very humble about it. But I was very, very proud of him. The game was awesome. It was fun to watch. It was my highlight. Well, one of my highlights of the weekend. I guess I'd won probably with each of my kids in different ways. So anyway, I did drop the link in here if anybody would like to join. I'm happy to have you come on in, chit-chat. Again, I know it is Father's Day weekend, so a lot of people are busy. People are watching the game. I'm not going to run this live very long. I am open to questions or any comments or anything. I am looking at trying to figure a way to go to the national. I will say, I'll be honest, it's a lot more complicated taking kids than I thought it was going to be. So we'll see if I can work it out. If I'm going to go, there's some possibility I won't go. But it has nothing to do with my opinion or my feeling on the hobby. I'm very excited about the hobby, very excited about the national. I will say this last week has been a crazy busy week for me work-wise, and the camp was busy and everything. Dominguez, loading up on Dominguez. I think that's a good move, Nostradamus, because I'm a big fan of his, and I still think his stuff's really cheap. 8-foot rim practice dunks. I like it. My son is really he's a passer. He passes more than he shoots. He had a great shooting game. He's got a good team. I think he's got a very good team. He's got a very solid team. A lot of good players on the team, and they play well as a team. So, um, what was I talking about? So I will say, last week a lot of stuff going on. I have a lot of content that I want to get out. A lot of cool things. Like I will say, I'm gonna start Monday tomorrow. We're gonna go over product releases. We're gonna look at a little deep dive into some more products than we normally do. Tuesday is gonna be kind of market review. We're gonna look at trends in the market. Just because most of the indexes are released on Monday, they come out sometimes on Monday, and that includes like Card Ladder, Star Stock, even Card Genie. Most of them are updated on the weekend, so by Tuesday, I can take a look at everything and share that with everybody. Wednesday, I'm working on some content for Wednesday, but I'm trying to build like a regular daily content. Hope to see it in Nashville. I am hoping to make it there too. You know, I know you've got travel issues as well, breakout cards. And again, I'll say this. I'll just say this: if you can do it, do it. If you can't, it's okay. It's not the end of the world if people miss the National. It doesn't make you less of a hobbyist if you don't go to the National. I really enjoyed Andy's video from Sports Card Investigator when he talked about not going. I understand that. I mean, it's really cool if you can go. That's great, go. But if you can't, don't kill yourself over it. And a lot of people, I'll just say, I don't know. The economy is different. Things are down. A lot of different things going on in people's lives. I know my expendable income is limited. So, and with doing stuff for the kids and stuff, there's less money to even think about playing with cards. So, the travel alone, let's say if I were to drive to National and had a free place to stay, it still would cost, lots of money to go. So I understand people who don't go. I still think it's going to be fun. I still think there'll be a lot of good content. There'll be a lot of good stories coming out of it. I also think it's going to be kind of an index for where the kind of the hobby heartbeat is. And I think the hobby heartbeat actually is very strong. I think I've talked about that before. I think the people in the hobby are doing really well. Which reminds me, let me just go ahead and make a quick plug. If you're watching and haven't checked this out, check out Bench Clear Media. They're going to be doing the Hobby Palooza on July 10th and 11th. And that's going to be just a series of great YouTube channels, just kind of passing the baton from one channel to the other from like Friday through Sunday. They'll have tops. They'll have Panini. They'll have good content. They'll have good YouTube channels, collectors, great people with great insights. So definitely check that out. And I recommend if you have a channel, reach out to Bench Clear. And contribute like Breakout. I'd love to see you guys participate in that Hobby Palooza if you guys can. Let me see some of these comments real quickly. If anybody would like to join the show, I'll drop that Jack back in the comment area. I'll tell you, I didn't plan any guests. I normally will call a few people or text people and say, hey, join the show tonight. I won't lie. I did poke some guests to get them to be on the show tonight. I kind of winged it. It's Father's Day. I'm just getting back. So I will say my Father's Day. Here's my other funny story. Let me catch my comments first. Have a see National. Have I been able to get anything off of Target? No, I have not. I haven't been actively trying to, I'll be honest. It just hasn't been a priority. I'll also tell you this too. I do a Facebook group where I'm an admin. It's a big group. You see a lot of retail product. I mean, lots. And man, there is a lot of it. Like I look at some of these. I don't want to show them because I don't want to. Part of me feels dirty. Not that I did it, but just watching some of these guys. I know they're just retail raiders, right? These guys have like just walls of freaking blasters and hangers. I'm sitting there going, yeah. And they're selling on these Facebook groups, and they're selling it, I would say, at much lower prices than they used to be. Like mega boxes are under 100. Blaster boxers are around 45. So it looks like a lot of stuff in the retail world has come to about 2x. Which isn't bad in my opinion. Now, at the same time, comps are down as well, right? Like I've noticed that some cards that you think would be, $100 card or whatever are no longer $100 cards, right? They're like $50 cards or they're $25 cards. So I think there's just a lot of retail out there. I think there's so much damn retail. It's ridiculous. So I have not been trying, but I haven't been worried. Like if there's any retail product I want, I know I can buy it on the Facebook groups. I'm going to pay extra, but I know I could, if that makes sense. And right now, I'm trying to think, is there anything I'd want right now? No, I'm not interested in the select football. I'm not interested in the contender stuff. Just Not from my perspective. I'm looking forward to select basketball. Toughest part of starting Wednesday, Friday, Sunday is the easiest. Yeah, starting Wednesday, Friday, Sunday is the easiest. I don't disagree with that. Wander just called it. Yeah, we heard about that, Cards and Comic. Love your channel, man. Really love your content. Keep doing that, Cards and Comic. If you guys haven't subscribed, check out Cards and Comics. I will say Cards and Comics. There's a lot of comics and cards and comics and cards and cards. There's a lot of similar names. So when you search, you have to know what you want to look for. And I like your channel a lot. So Wander's called up. That's exciting. That should have a bump in cards, but we can actually go look at that and see. I don't have Wander in Market Movers right now, but I can pull them up. Let me catch up here. I'll reach out in the week. Please do. That's a good idea. Jason Dominguez, 5 to 10 year plan. I like that. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, base card collector, man. Happy Father's Day. Jason, not even playing an 8-ball yet. Really? Where is he? What's he doing right now? I like Prism UFC. You know, a lot of people like Prism UFC. A lot of people like it. I'm a fan who watches from like 8 to 10 o'clock. I'm a free fan. I watch free UFC stuff. I don't pay for UFC or haven't paid for it in a while. So I think that's how I feel about like the cards. I'm not into it yet. I'm just not willing to invest. If I were to see a box in the retail, I'd pick it up, but I'm not chasing it. I respect it. I definitely respect it. And I see it's very liquid and people are into it. I just don't know. I just don't know yet. And I also say if you don't know it, stay out of it, right? Hey, Sean, good evening. The market is crashing in a few months. People will be giving their stuff away. You know, I don't disagree with you. We'll see. I mean, there's if you listen to Because I'm Carlos, I didn't listen to him this Friday night. I was busy, but he talks about there'll be blood in the streets. That's when things are bad. When there's blood in the streets, that's when it really means it. Let's see, 56. Game's still gone. I don't want there to be blood in the streets, but I do think there are a lot of people. In fact, here's what I was saying earlier. And I got a video coming out on this in a little bit, but pre-COVID, there was no flipper market like there was today. And what I mean by flipper market, I'm not talking about the retail flippers. I'm talking about the PSA 5 or PSA 9 and 10 flippers, right? If you watch most of the channels and YouTube, right, whether it was the Hobby Box or PSA Collector or Personal Finance Dad, or a lot of those channels talked about buying and selling the graded card, right? They didn't tell you to buy raw, which is fine, right? They didn't tell you to buy breaks or buy boxes or anything. They were really chasing or watching the market of those graded cards. As somebody who's been in the hobby for or back in the hobby, I guess, for 6 years plus, I think of it as that's the worst part of the market to be in because you're just getting a multiplier off of raw to graded if it comes back in your favor. There's a lot of other places people make money in the hobby, right? From buying boxes and buying retails and buying breaks, whatever there is. There's ways. People have been doing that forever. Like as an example, when I saw last year when LeBron James Prism Laker card was being sold for $20 raw and like $100 graded, I remember thinking to myself, something is wrong. Like if you look at my channel, I did a video on this called Rise of the Refractors. I said this is gone too crazy. Somebody should have screamed right there, stop. I don't care he's in a Lakers jersey. Stop. There's lots of these cards being made and lots more coming. You're going to see him in a Lakers jersey for a long time. And everybody, I don't know, that was to me like the biggest warning sign that people didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I digress. Thanks for your channel. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Sean. Extended spring training still. And I didn't even know where that is, but thank you, Michael. I have no idea what that is. Jason. Everyone is thinking the National will save the hobby. Yeah, I don't think the National. I think one of the biggest factors is the cost of wax, right? And I really mean that. I think we're gonna get back to. Here's another thought I have. I really think the hobby's like this. We're focused on what's hot now. We really don't focus much on 3 or 4 years later, right? We focus on 1 or 2 rookies. They're hot now and move on. And that's why some of these cards just aren't as exciting as they used to be. Every now and then we flash back, oh, why do we pay attention to that one? I think the rookie class is weak. I think when the rookie class gets stronger, things will get better. I got some guests joining here as well. I got Michael Ham coming and Flipping Steve, so hold on. I just think that right now we're in a little bit of a rut. I think box prices are too high. Like I said, box prices come down, people will start ripping wax more. And if you get some money back on a basic return, then we'll be in a good place. Okay, let's see here. Just think the economy is going to be tanking badly. I worry about that as well because there's a lot of factors in the economy. That's a good point. Happy Father's Day. I'm going to catch up here. I want to order Taps bundle. I want 55 from the card bundle. I went to order 55. Wow. Tops is still one of the better ones, man. Seems like the market is going back to the mid-90s single. There are some things that are going to hold out. Okay, so we got still one of the better ones, man. Hello, gentlemen.
Yo.
How are you guys doing, man?
What's up?
Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, man. Happy Father's Day. Hopefully, I don't have an echo going here. Let me find the balance. I don't know. We'll see. If I start echoing, start yelling at us.
You're good.
Good right now.
How was your Father's Day? Any exciting stories? Hobby stuff? Kid stuff? Family stuff?
I went to Cracker Barrel this morning. We did my personal Father's Day yesterday, which I went to an all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse. It's one of my favorite places to go because it's just.
I love those. Yep.
And I just, I basically starved myself the second half of the day waiting for it, and then proceeded to pig out for an hour and a half. And then today we went and met my dad and family at Cracker Barrel. What was interesting in Cracker Barrel is they had Top Series 1 fat packs, some Pokemon right at the counter. I ended up getting a fat pack because I'm like, why not? I'm here. And I didn't really get anything good. But it was just interesting to see that there. I know everybody's looking for another place to go to look for a product sometimes. Don't sleep on a Cracker Barrel. I used to get top stuff there all the time back in the day. But it's one of those hidden places.
No idea. That's right. That it also kind of concerns me. It reminds me again of the 90s, right? It's everywhere now. Like,
Cracker Barrel's had this going back 10, 15 years. I mean,
really? Only Top? Do they ever have Panini products?
No, just Tops. Just Tops.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much what we did today. And just after that, I just basically crashed on the couch with Avery, watched some movies. I zoned in and out of a little nap maybe. I really had just like a relaxing, laid-back day, just chilling.
Yeah, I had a great relaxing day. I had Father's Day with my father this morning. Had the boys before that, dropped them off last night. So I got home this morning and enjoyed it with my father. And just was relaxing, enjoyed some time with my dogs, did some hiking today. Didn't do much hobby stuff, to be honest with you. Like I said, I was just kind of catching up this evening, watching some videos. How about you, Steve? How was your Father's Day?
I worked all day.
I'm sorry.
I jumped into the morning drive there for a minute while Steve was going.
Yeah, and I mean, my daughter turns 21 this year, so, and she's my only child, so it's like, Father's Day is kind of. I call it my dad and stuff. That's actually more exciting, getting to tell my dad than it is hearing it. Not that it's not worth hearing it. My daughter tells me she bought me a cool gift that'll be on my next video. It'll be in the background, like a picture she got made for me.
Awesome.
So that was awesome. But she gave me that day early because I wasn't going to be home today.
Can I ask you, Steve, how I know you're in the gambling industry, right? You work in the casino. Is that industry recovering, or is it recovered, or where is it based on COVID and so forth?
Oh, business is booming.
Really? That's
It was
awesome.
booming. It was booming. Okay, so the casino that I work at is mostly state run. It's not like individually owned by like a business owner or a company or anything like that. It's mostly the state gets lots of kickbacks. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it's like lottery, Delaware lottery. We didn't have half the shutdown stuff that all the other places did. They closed up all the restaurants and all the stores and told them they couldn't be open, but they left the casino open. So where did everybody have to go to spend their money?
Wow.
And to me, I'm crying conspiracy because I'm like, okay, they're pumping taxpayers, or they're pumping everybody back with stimulus money, but the only place they're allowing them to go spend that is at the casino, which in turn they're pretty much giving it back to the state.
So it's federal money getting pushed out and state money being pulled back in. That's a smart state, man. Is that Delaware?
Pretty much. But yeah, we were way back open before everything else was, and we had other restrictions lifted. And I know like Las Vegas and Atlantic City didn't shut down very long either, I don't think.
Yeah, here in Tampa, we have a Hard Rock. They didn't shut down much at all either.
Yeah.
Really? They shut the buffet down, which hurt my heart. because I'm not big on gambling. I go watch. My gambling is sports cards because I like ripping so much. So that's kind of like where it fuels my hobby part with the gambling aspect. Just because at the end of the day, a casino is built to win, not to lose. With cards, at the end of the day, anybody can become somebody later. And I'm a big buy and hold type person. I've always been that person, to hold for the future. And I just, the gambling aspect just doesn't excite me. It's just something I don't get into. So but opening packs is gambling. So
I was going to ask a survey of how many people in sports cards also are active or were active gamblers. Because I almost think like sports cards are like rehab for gamblers, right? Because like you said, you get something out of it. You're gambling, but worst case, I open a box and like, hey, I'm gambling. Hey, but I still got some cards I like, and I can hold on to them, and they might be worth money later on. It's one of the safest. I don't know if it's the right word to say. We rationalize it as a safe form of gambling, I guess. Right? Is that fair?
Yeah, because you're getting something and you can keep something versus when you go to the table and you lose, there's nothing to show for it. With a pack of cards, you still have cards that have potential possibly, but not long term. Of course, how big of a gamble you take. But what's funny, I just found out this weekend, one of the housekeepers that worked for me, she won $1 million on a scratch off. So I'm assuming Monday I have to have a conversation with her if she's going to keep working there or not.
Are you serious? That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, 100%. There's a picture on the Florida website and everything with her and her son. It's very good for her because she can do a lot with that money, and I'm hoping she does.
That's awesome. So has she talked to you yet, or have you? I mean, so
No.
maybe she's not even call you. She's like done.
No, I know she's working because I work at a drug and alcohol rehab facility. That's a 24/7 facility. I'm not in recovery myself.
Interesting.
But I'm a facilities director, master purchaser. I do a bunch of stuff. I'm multi-tool there. But she's one of my housekeepers, and she's just my part-time housekeeper. She's not even a full-time one. So I don't know if she just needs to keep working for a little while until that money kicks in. I don't know. I'll have a talk with her on Monday and see where that goes. Very happy for her. Very excited. I don't play scratch off, so I can't be like, oh, it never happens to me. I don't play. I can't win. Don't be upset about it. Move along with life. Be happy.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Steve, were you a gambler at all, or you always just watch the gamblers and laugh?
No, I never enjoyed gambling. So, I'm a firm believer that, if you're gambling for fun, entertainment, which some people do, and they budget, they're gambling to win. I mean, to have fun. When you gamble to win, that's when you find yourself losing and becoming addicted. Because what happens is, if you're gambling to win and you lose, it's called the chase. You just chase and you chase and you chase, thinking that you're going to win your money back, and your hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. As opposed to if you go to have fun, you go out, you have a couple drinks, you gamble $100, $200, you're done, you call it a night. It's basically, if you were to do any other kind of recreational activity, like go to a movie or, go to a club or something, I mean, you're going to spend money. If you look at it from that aspect, it's a little bit different. But if your adrenaline rush is the chase and the win, then you can become addicted to it very easily. And, I work in the table games department. A lot of my card investing strategy comes from what I see in the casino, as far as number crunching. Risk reward is a huge thing for me when I look at whether I want to make an investment or not. I look at risk reward, and it is relates to house odds and such in a casino, especially on a dice table, which is something I'm real familiar with craps. I'm an instructor for that. But
what's the best table
odds,
game? Can you tell us the best odds?
The best odds is pass line odds on a craps table. That's true odds. The house takes no edge on that. Blackjack.
So the pass line.
Blackjack is 60-40.
So
blackjack. What's that?
Just the pass line, not the odds behind?
No, the odds behind. So the pass line itself, is actually in the player's favor on the come out roll because a 7 is a winner. Once you establish a point, now 7 is a loser. 7 is the most commonly rolled number. So now, once you have a point, the pass line is no longer in your favor. It becomes in the house's favor. But the money that you put behind your pass line bet, which is called odds, it pays you true odds on the dice. The house takes no edge. So basically, if your point is a 6 and you roll your point back, you're going to get paid $6 for every 5. because that's your odds of rolling a 6 to a 7, which is 7 to 6. So you get true payout on your money, as opposed to where if you were to take $1, bet a straight up 12 on a one roll bet, it pays you to 30 to 1, but there's 36 dice combinations. So the house is taking a 6 combination edge against you. If you win $30. However, it's 36 to 1. You should technically be winning $36, but that's not the way that it works.
Very interesting. It's funny. Craps is one of my weaknesses. I used to be a gambler. I used to love gambling, and I would say then I started doing poker. And your comment there about gamble to for the entertainment, so here's my thought on that. I used to be like that too. I used to go to Vegas and I'd take a limit and I'd say I'm only going to lose this much money, and I'd go out and have fun, but I would always lose that amount of money because I seem to always have it in my mind that even at the end of the night I'm like, screw it, everything on black. Because I'm ready to go home. And that to me is dangerous because I remember hanging out with people who were regulars, and they talk about that's the people you prey on. It's the idiot who's there just for the experience, who he doesn't care if he's going to bet into a bad hand because he's just there for the night because he's spending his $100 in Vegas. So I can see both sides of that, which is probably why I do cards now. I mean, why I do sports cards. Guys realize that gambling, man, it's fierce.
It's just like buying into breaks. You buy into a $150 spot and you don't do well. You go and buy into another 150 spot because you're like, I got to make this up somehow. The same type of mentality goes into breaks, and people that get into a lot of breaks, because you hit big. You're like, oh, I'm up. You didn't sell that card yet. You're up because you have a card worth value that you paid a little bit of money to get into. And now you're chasing again.
Yeah.
I did it a little while when I was going into breaks. I would write down how much I paid for the break, what team I got, and what I got out of that break, just to figure out, what I get. And you lose more than you win, just like in anything else. There are some people that are super lucky that always end up with the same best spots, or they end up with the best cards out of the break. Those people are just lucky. Don't be like it's rigged. You got to understand there are people that have some type of luck built into their life that you can't explain. I got a buddy of mine that he plays scratch offs, and he wins $1, $2, $3, $500,000 all day long, all month long. Like it's crazy. Like it's not realistic. That's just who he is. I can't explain it. There's like an energy or something. I don't know. That's going.
Have you done any breaks recently? And Steve, do you do breaks at all?
Outside the break that I did with you through Knuckle Breakers, no. Prior to that, I did one with Iron Line for Soccer Chronicles, just to dabble in it. I didn't do anything crazy.
How was that done? Was that done by country or what? Because I wouldn't even know how to break soccer.
Yeah, it's done by team. And the thing with soccer, especially Chronicles, there's like 36 or 38 teams, or the way it's broken down. And it's really, 1 or 2 or 3 have a ton of stuff, and everybody else has very little. So the risk reward's very, very small in that. Yeah. And there's so much soccer coming out right now. I would suggest if you're getting into any soccer breaks, do your homework, really look what you're chasing.
There's a lot of soccer, right?
It's going to be hard to buy a team if you're trying to chase Ronaldo or Messi or Haaland or Mbappe based on that product. 'Cause somebody's just going to pay the outright price for a team break. And if you are not first, you are definitely last in that situation.
You know what I've been doing? I would say keep an eye on the UK soccer or UK top site. There is a separate site for tops for UK than there is for US. And they'll drop soccer products on there at different times and stuff.
Will they ship to US from the UK site?
Okay. They do, but they charge a lot.
I figured they would.
Like I remember I just bought, they had the Bundesliga, the yellow team sets or whatever available. And I think they were like $19 US. I don't know. They were a short amount, but I ended up spending, I think, $50 in shipping. I mean, the shipping amount was ridiculous. Like had I saw that, I probably would have slowed down the purchase. So you do have to be aware with that. But they do have some cool drops out there, some stuff. Steve, do you do breaks at all? Have you done any breaks recently?
I've been in one break ever, and I mean it's a great story. So it's a wonder I didn't get hooked on breaks. But I was just on Instagram and I saw one of the people I follow. They went live. I shouted him out because it's called DMZ Collectibles. I don't know how much he's breaking now, but every once in a while he would do what was I used to just watch, and he would do what was called a DMZ special. He would never announce it. You wouldn't know what was coming up, but what he would do was it was a way to get people into his breaks just because they would be wanting to take a chance to be into his breaks. You know, he might say, hey, I'm breaking this tonight. Who wants in? You know, and that's it. But every once in a while, he would be like, okay, who wants in? And then once he filled the spots, he would be like, by the way, this is turning into a DMZ special. And that keeps people wanting to get in because of the chance that he might turn it into a DMZ special. So what happened was I bought in for $30 a team on a box of Optic Hobby basketball from last year. And that's all I thought it was going to be. I bought 2 spots for $60, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll get an Optic base rookie card of somebody, you know, out of a hobby box. He said this is going to be a DMZ special, and at the time I didn't know what it meant. He added a second box of hobby to that. He added a box of hobby Prism jumbo packs to that. He added a box of select basketball to that, and he added a box of 2017 Prism basketball to that. So for $30 a team, I got all that.
Wow.
But that's not something he would do regularly. I mean, well, he would do it every couple weeks or so, but he wouldn't announce when he was going to do it. And that's what would get people to buy into his breaks because they would hope it would turn into what was called a DMZ special. And I got, I think, the second or third spot. I ended up choosing the Lakers because anything from LeBron was super hot. And I actually did good. I got like orange parallels of like LeBron and Anthony Davis, like numbered out of 199. And even on my second team, which was way at the bottom of the list, I took the Kings just because I knew De'Aaron Fox was in that 2017 Prism, and he ended up pulling De'Aaron Fox stuff out of it. So,
wow.
Yeah, and I did real good.
You hit like,
and then I was like, man, but I just didn't. After that, I really just didn't do it that much, because I felt like it would never get any better than that. You know, I was like, I got lucky. You know, instead of saying, man, this is great, I'm hooked on it, I was more or less like, can it actually get any better than that? Will I ever get that kind of value again? $30 a team for all that product, and I actually got hits. I was like, that'll never happen again. I used up all my luck, and I'm just didn't do it anymore.
Or you could just be a lucky person, Steve, and then you just got to roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't.
You didn't know the breaker at all. You just kind of stumbled across him because you followed him. Actually, I will say I did get in another break one other time, and it was just for, I think, Mosaic basketball, and they were going to break like 2 blasters, and I didn't understand how the whole thing worked. Like, I was a big-time noob to breaks, and I guess they were selling so many spots, but only so many spots actually got into the break, and I didn't realize that, so I paid my $10 or $15 to get in, and then I wasn't even one of the teams in the break, and I'm asking, I'm like, what's going on? I don't get a team, and they're like, no, only the first 10 people that get chosen on the wheel are in, and the other people just paid for the chance to get in, and I didn't get in. So then I was just like, oh, that's kind of shady. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
at least if I get in, at least let me get in. And if I don't get a card, I don't get a card. But to not even get in, you know, I was just kind of like, and I didn't understand how it works. So I didn't, it wasn't like I got ripped off, and I didn't feel ripped off. I just felt like, man, I'm messing with breaks, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to stay out of them.
I'll tell you, where I started in breaks, that was probably the first thing that got me and my kids back into was breaking, and I was breaking for 2 years. I think we broke all the time, and we never sold anything. We just collected, and we loved it because I love the ability to like target, you know, a certain team, a certain checklist. Now, to me, I just think too many people I think the hobby is more complicated than people realize. It's not simple. And if you don't understand breaking, like the number one thing about breaking is you need to know the checklist. Like I remember I would wait for the checklist to drop normally on a Monday or Tuesday before the breaks would come out on Wednesday. And I would analyze the checklist. You can calculate odds, and there's a whole bunch of great breaker resources out there. But I loved breaking. I did pretty well, I would say, in breaking. But I also, like, for example, I didn't do fillers, and I didn't do a lot of random teams. I normally would do PYTs, and I did specific products, but I love breaking, and I think what I'm gonna do now is as I start selling stuff off, I'm going to get into more targeted breaks. But I'll say this too: I researched the breaker I use. Right, I wouldn't just meet any breaker. The breakers I've used in the past have been allocated breakers, so they're guys who are getting the product at fair prices, who have the best prices in the market, which typically are competitive. So like, I'm not going to tell everybody who they are, but I mean they're good guys, man, and they're also their business is good, right? They don't need new business because they have 60, 100, 200 people who know they get the best product from them and they continue to always fill. I think those guys are still doing well. They've always done well too. So I just think I still have a passion for breaking.
I saw a comic book question over here that I could hit real quick if you want me to.
Please go for it. Absolutely. I'm way behind on comics.
It was talking about a Conquest #6 comic book. Shane Robert Moreland had a question up here. He was talking about the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming out.
Really?
The first appearance of the 2008 team is in this comic issue. But the thing is that Guardians of the Galaxy isn't new. They've had a couple movies out already, and plus they were in all the Avengers stuff. So what I would tend to look for if I'm going to speculate on a Guardians book right now is who do you think the main villain is going to be in Guardians 3? A good speculation would probably be, I don't know if he'll be the villain, but he'll be introduced, will probably be Adam Warlock. I'm going to say, if you're really looking for comic books to try to flip on speculation, try to pick up some Adam Warlock books. First appearances are still going to be expensive, but you get like second appearances, which are in some of the Thor books, or one of the Thor books, I believe, and even in low grade. I think that's a good book. If you're a comic book flipper and you're looking for a speculative book for the Guardians of the Galaxy, Adam Warlock. He was teased at the end of one of the movies, but a lot of people didn't know who was being teased because they referred to him as him. And he was in a golden cocoon. And that's going to be Adam Warlock come out of that.
He's going to be, I think it's been confirmed he will be in Guardians 3. So he'll probably be the villain.
Yeah. I mean, he's not necessarily a villain in the comics, but he'll be introduced originally probably as a villain, kind of like they did with Silver Surfer.
Yeah, same thing, exactly.
That's my favorite series. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. My dog is named Groot for a reason. I am a huge fan. Love that stuff.
So
I think some comics too.
Little fun story this week. One of the other things I do is I go yard sailing. That was my original flipping. Cards were always a long-term collectible thing. I still don't really flip cards a whole lot. But I went out this weekend, went to some yard sales around here, and I hit one that had a whole bunch of autograph photos and stuff like that. One of the things I picked up that I thought was really cool was this Hank Aaron Sports Illustrated from 1974.
Wow, that is cool.
And it's autographed. I bought a few other autographed books that they had too of just football players from when we had Super Bowls here in Tampa. They had 2 Wayne Gretzky Lightning All-Star jerseys that were signed by Wayne Gretzky, but they were $75 each. You can't really do anything with that. I already have a Wayne Gretzky autograph, so I'm kind of just happy having what I have. But I paid $5 for this Hank Aaron autograph on this 74 Sports Illustrated. It'll be something I just frame and keep. But it's another angle for people to go look for stuff. And most of the people, when they have sports cards listed in a yard sale around here, people are like trying to knock on their door days early, trying to get into it. There was one a couple of weeks ago that was like, they had all this like junk wax era, every sport, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, ranging from late 80s to early 90s, some decent stuff, but it was in like a shed that had been for years. There was rats had eaten through stuff. It was really hard to find good stuff. It was cheap though. You get a full sealed box of 89 Skybox basketball for $3, but might have a hole in it. You know what I mean? So you don't really know how good the condition of everything was. Also being in the heat in Florida in the shed. I saw a couple Joe Montana rookie cards that were literally eaten by rats or something. So it's just sad that something like that had just gone to waste. And the potential that those people had was just wasted, basically.
I can see that. A lot of sports cards make it to Florida through like their grandparents retire down there or whatever. Let me ask you, do you still do a lot of I know a lot of the spring training baseballs down there, right? Is it easy to get autographs and stuff? Is that very popular? I don't, because
you got to get there early, go hang out down there with the group. Half the time I'm going just to enjoy the game or just to be there. We have the Yankee spring training here, which is now called the Tampa Tarpons, which is the old team that Lou Piniella used to actually manage before he became a major league manager for the Reds. They were called the Tampa Tarpons. That was back when Paul O'Neill. I have pictures of me with like some of these players and autographs and stuff like that, because back then you could get anybody's autograph. Then nobody cared. You could walk on the field after the game.
Yeah.
A lot different than now. Now you have all the autograph hounds guys with like 5 books of pages and stuff, an entire bag of baseballs, just stuff to flip. Kind of ruins the excitement. Same thing with, we didn't have a training camp last year for the Bucks. I've been going to training camp since I was probably 10, getting autographs from football players, to the point I was there every day for 2-a-days. My mom would just drop me and my friend off. We would stay there all day long for 2-a-days and get autographs, to the point players would bring us out Gatorades, hang out, talk to us. We knew the backdoor secret behind there that they would get out and they would sign stuff. I'd have 20 Eric Ritt autographs. He would just keep signing them for us because he didn't care. Those days are kind of long gone now. Now it's just, everybody groups up. It's crazy. But having COVID had go on, a lot of stuff really got pulled away. So I'm really curious to what happens this year with the reintroduction of face-to-face type interactions versus all the private signings you see now, where you can get in private signing, sign it, send it back, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It gives them an excuse. It gives them an excuse to not to. It's funny. I have a funny signing story. I remember, years ago, I took my son to the Washington Redskins when they were the Redskins. Sorry, there's something else now. And I think it was Clinton Portis was there, and my son had a ball. And as kids, it was easier to get an autograph. So my son got up, and he had this really nice football with the white on it, the autograph. He hands it to Clinton Portis, and Portis signs it, right? Beautiful autograph. And as it's getting passed back, someone else passes it, and some other player grabs it, and he autographs it. And another player autographs, another player autographs. And I'm like, well, that's not bad. And he gets it back, and my son's like, I don't know who the hell these two people are. Like, he didn't say that, but he's like, I don't know who these people are. And they were nobodies. They didn't even make the team.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Like Clinton Portis ball. I'm like, well, they didn't know. So,
we've had things. As Bucks fans here, and also having players, we've had players that would literally walk over the netting that you stand behind when you're getting autographs, walk into the stands, and literally sign everything until the horn blows for them to get their ass inside.
Yeah.
There's a time frame. They get so much time to sign autograph after practice. And once the horn blows, they have rules. They have to be somewhere. Like, they're on a schedule. And some people don't realize that, but that's kind of how it goes. Also with the Bucks, what they were doing the year prior to COVID is they would take a whole bunch of kids physically onto the practice field, have players walk down a line and sign stuff for them.
That's awesome.
And the players would come over to everybody else, whether if they wanted to or not. I like to make my own custom cards, which, by the way, guys, I'm making custom YouTube cards. So I might send y'all images at some point of a
awesome.
for YouTube. But just for fun, I've always liked doing that. But when Winston was here, for instance, I made a 1989 Topps football, which is, I believe, Bo Jackson's rookie year. I made a Winston card, taking the Vinny Testaverde, erasing him out of it, changed everything completely, made a galaxy background, took that to him at training camp, and he signed it. So I have that card. It's just, I'm the only one that has it. It's super cool. I enjoy it. It's something I love. It's the creative side of me, I guess.
I say, so tell me more about the cards. Do you make, you're an artist type of thing? Are you making your own characters?
It's like a Photoshop program. I cut and paste, add stuff. I use a basic program. I just I've always been a creator type mindset. Like, I can think of something for a lot of things, but I can't build it. And then some things like that I can actually build. Because I go to a training camp, I've always been, photography is another thing. That's why I say hobbyist, because I like so many different things. So I go to the training camp, I take all these pictures, and then I make my own card for my own pictures. I mean, outside of an NFL license, I own the intellectual property of the photo. So nobody could tell me anything, no matter what, at the end of the day, because it's art. So that's just something I would do.
You should NFT that, man.
No, I don't even like NFTs. I think it's a waste of time.
Well, real quickly on that note, just want to say something. No one at all was talking about the Prism NFT packs that dropped last Wednesday. Nobody mentioned those. But every one of those things made a ton of money. If you watch the aftermarket on those, it is disgusting. Did you see those, Steve? Have you watched those? I mean, again, there were $10 packs. You get 3 cards. I think every card was selling for $50 or more.
I mean,
I don't understand that one. I really don't. I'll be honest. I don't.
I got super lucky and kind of hit a home run on Top Shot. I was in super early. I was one of the early people in on Top Shot, but I sold. I wasn't like all the people that was holding through the big spikes. When those big spikes happened, man, I sold almost all my Top Shot off.
You were buying Top Shot with Vegas Finds when they were cheap, right? And you were buying packs when it was cheap. You never bought. Let me ask you this. What's the most expensive moment you ever paid for?
That I ever paid for, off the marketplace?
Yeah.
maybe $100.
Exactly.
But that was after this stuff started getting popular.
Yep.
And that was like and then that was like a double. Like the first ones I started buying was the Luka step back 3-pointer and the Luka dunk.
Yep.
From Series 1. So Luka's dunk was his first Top Shot moment.
Yep.
And then the step back 3 was the 3-pointer hit against the Clippers at the buzzer in the playoffs last year.
Beautiful moment.
And they were like $3, $4. That's all they were.
Crazy.
They would sit on Marketplace all day, and every time one would come up under $5, I would just buy it and be like, okay, wonder what the hell is going to happen with this stuff. My initial investment into Top Shot, when it was all said and done, was $800. So I invested over $800, but I cashed out over $45,000 from their website already. It's not even like they're holding it. I mean, that's in my bank account.
Yep.
Steve, you're lucky. You should be in more breaks, I think.
Yeah, the Prism the Prism ones, like I said, if you can get those packs on Wednesday, they're dropping again. They're $20 packs. If you can get one now, it bothers me how Panini does distribution. It's terrible. But if you get one, you're gonna make money. So I'm not. This is not investment advice. It's just simply, if you want to play Lotto and you get in the line and you get a ticket, you can open your pack and make money on Wednesday.
I just feel like with Bitcoin and everything else down, NFTs are down too.
Yeah,
I know, that's what I thought too. I thought this would be an interesting barometer. I didn't think these would do as well because I thought Panini's failed on their other ones. They've been taking a lot of hate. They're overprinting. So when they came out, also, I don't know if you guys followed this. When they dropped it on Wednesday, it came out with a ticker that said 24 hours. So I was like, well, maybe they're print on demand. I have a 24 hours to buy. So I kept trying to buy for the first hour, but not constantly, just every few minutes. And next thing I know, they're sold out. And I'm like, well, that's totally stupid. They didn't even tell you this. And then I started watching online on the aftermarket, and they're going for ridiculous amounts. And again, if they're Prism NFTs, and the only thing got a whole bunch coming out. Like they've got, I want to say they have football lined up already. They have another sport lined up. So be ready. I mean, whether you like them or not, they're definitely taking some market.
The only thing I still am holding on the Top Shot is a bunch of unopened packs, and
really
one legendary LeBron moment, and that's because when they dropped the Christmas Day legendary packs back when they were only $200 a pack for legendary pack, now they're like $1,000 a pack, and you can't get them. I bought 2, and the limit was 3. I should have bought 3, but I bought 2. And out of the very first pack, I hit the LeBron legendary shooting a 3-pointer over Luka on Christmas Day in their Christmas uniforms. And that moment I still have, but that has sold on Marketplace for $77,000. So I still have that moment. And then the other pack I didn't open because I was like, I can't pull a better moment than this unless I pull a duplicate. So I was like,
you have one pack or you have a lot of packs?
I have one legendary pack. I have 2 rare packs, and I have about 10 to 12 probably common packs.
Damn, are you still buying packs now?
No, not really. I bought a pack maybe a week ago for like $9 a common pack, but I just feel like the common packs are like you get them, and all of them have they're numbered out of 40,000. Like when I was buying the Series 1 packs, they were numbered out of the highest were numbered out of 1,500. Now, and that was a common. A common was numbered out of 1,500. I mean, my LeBron that I have is numbered out of 85. So now it's just crazy. And then I also wanted to ask you guys a question because I was reading comments before I came on. People talking about the market. Some people saying it's going to be the junk wax era again, and some people saying it's going to be a bloodbath, and the economy's crashing, and the whole sports card market is crashing. I just don't know what your guys' individual thoughts are. What you're doing right now in the market. Are you guys buying? Are you in a holding pattern? Are you selling? Are you cutting ties for fear of losing more?
No, I'm looking at.
I know you're a holder, Michael, so I know probably for you.
So my idea is a lot different than others. There are, for instance, Wander Franco being called up if he does well. I don't have his Bowman First auto. I'm a Bowman First guy. His top rookie card, when it comes out an update from him coming up now, I will target that. And then Topps Chrome especially, because Top Chrome combines all the rookies basically. So Topps Chrome this year should be a fantastic product from a prospecting and future hold possibility. But yeah, I'm buying stuff right now. I'm chasing a football player that's extremely either going to be somebody or going to be nobody. So it's literally I said I'll put $200 into this player.
Right.
I'm going to video on him in football, and it's just where he's at and his possible opportunity, and then what he's done in the past and why I feel hopeful for this individual. But I'm not going to suggest anybody to buy it. I'm just going to say this is why I'm buying it, because people enjoy those type of videos. They want that insight. So
here's what I'm doing. I will tell you. Lately, I've been selling, and I'm still selling off. Like I'm selling off graded cards. Because that's what feeds my ability to buy new cards. What I'm buying I'm still going back to buying hobby boxes. I'm trying to buy them in pairs where I can open one and hold one. I'm targeting flagship products or products that I like Flagship Baseball, Topps Chrome, Bowman Chrome. Prism would be Prism Football would be on my list. When those things are order, I'm looking at them. I'm cautious though. I like Topps better because Topps prices are more fair in my opinion on pre-orders. Where Panini's prices are all over the place. You see them priced very high on pre-orders, and then all of a sudden they adjust down. So I'm cautious there. I'm also looking at, like I said, doing some selective breaks with breakers that I know are allocated or that aren't that are vested breakers. Because I do love the hobby, and again, I'm not looking at it as in a profit way either, right? So I'm not looking at I'm gonna make money. I'm just looking at what do I want to do to enjoy different things. Like I'm excited about football, and I'm excited about chasing all the quarterbacks there, right? I'm excited about baseball because there's so much prospecting you can do in baseball. Baseball's fun. It's just it's the American pastime. Basketball, I think, is weird right now. I think the rookie class sucks. I think LaMelo is the only really good rookie, and again, it's still early to say. See, I do think too. Here's a play I'll give you that I heard on Luka Nation. I'll give credit to Luka Nation on this. They were talking about Ben Simmons' card, and it's really, really down. His base rookie and his Prism rookie cards are like, I think, $100 or $150 PSA 10s. Here's what people don't realize about Ben Simmons' cards. He didn't have any autographs that year. He didn't sign with Panini on autographs. So his rookie cards in general are more rare or have a higher value to collectors. So I do think that's an interesting play. I don't like Ben Simmons at all.
He's just bad, though.
He is, but I think he's going to get traded.
For me, as a long-term hold type person, I'm like, he's not even going to be a top 50, 60 player. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? From my perspective, if I had something like that even now, okay, bye-bye, move away. I'll go get something that I know that I can hold on to, enjoy, and then at some point, whether I live long enough to sell it or die with it, somebody can enjoy it. I don't really care. My biggest buy ever is Mike Trout Bowman First Auto. I bought that in 2013. Nice. For $250, and it's a true 9.5 out of BGS. That card, I've always been told to sell it because it was $8,000, $6,000, $10,000. It's over $25,000 now. This card at some point might be $100,000 in 10 years. I'm not getting rid of it. Why do I care? It's $250. It's always going to be worth more than that. I don't care. I want it. I keep it. I enjoy it. I'm just scared of where I have it. You know what I mean? It's got to be in a bank vault, basically. And that's one of those things that you get a card worth so much money after a while. What do you do with it? You can't enjoy it if it's not even in your possession. And I kind of lose the hobby feeling of enjoying collecting stuff and being able to pull that card out and look at it or enjoy it or even display it for fear of losing it because somebody knows I might have it somewhere. You know what I mean? That's the thing that stinks at the end of the day. Same thing with the famous, a nice painting. I have a very nice Dali lithograph that's signed by him. I bought it at the yard sale, funny enough. But I think I'm going to go to the museum because we have the Dali Museum in St. Pete. Kind of let them use it for a display. They also do another level of authenticating it, or I can't even say the word right now. But they basically just make sure it's real.
Just to be clear, don't do any, fractional ownership with collectible on it.
No. But here, real quick, I pulled that Jameis Winston card out that I made.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So I basically took that. This is one of my favorite sets, just looking wise, especially growing up. I enjoyed this set. So I took the Vinny Testaverde, modified it, took a photo of him, added a Galaxy background. It's on nice glossy printed photo paper. I had him sign it. And then I even did the back where it even has his stats for his first year.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Like that. So that's the type of stuff I like to do when I get
I saw somebody who did that last year, but he was doing it for rappers. he was making rapper cards and then having the rappers sign it and giving the rappers a copy and keeping one. Like, you could make those and give one to the athlete.
I've done that before, actually. When I was at training camp at Quan Alexander, when he was here before he went to San Francisco, I made a card of him that made it look like it was gold foil on the outside. It was just printed, but just the way it looked super cool. And he's like, "Hey, can I get one of these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Just swing back over here. I'll grab it. I'll give it to you." So I gave him his card. He has a card that I've made that I basically signed on the back for him. That way he just knew where it came from.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What happened. So that was really cool, though.
I will say, guys, this game is getting good. We're coming down to the end of the fourth, so I'm going to cut it off in a few minutes. I've enjoyed everybody coming on tonight and being here live. I really appreciate Steve and Michael being on. I don't want to just quickly close, though. So any final thoughts, comments? What are you guys looking forward to in the next few weeks? Like, anything you're looking to buy, any boxes or products coming out that you're interested in?
I mean, Optic basketball is coming down the line. It's just going to be popular. It'll hit retail. I don't know how it's going to hit retail. Target looks like they're trying to literally stop distributing cards, period. And then Walmart's becoming a complete shit show. And whether they're limiting it or not, it's in a bad place right now with what they're doing. And they're now opening at 6 a.m. at most places nationwide. So it's making it start to feel like that overnight wait for people. And I'm not going to do that. Other than that, I'm just looking at cards that I'm kind of like always wanted or been chasing because they're down right now.
Yeah.
And I think this is that baseline for the market realistically. Football's going to be kicking off here really hard really soon. And we're in the hockey playoffs. So, I mean, I'm watching that, every single other day, basically, for my team, for the Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
For
There's
me,
a lot of stuff out there.
For me, I'm just trying to mop up after the end of the basketball season on some players that I think are approaching basement. I'm still doing everything. I'm still in it to make money. To me, money is there. So I still see opportunity to make money. You just got to adapt your strategies. You got to change. Yep. When you see the base cards flooding the market and everybody selling the same thing, you gotta have the stuff to sell that everybody else doesn't have. So I still target the oddball stuff. If I see something that I never see, I buy it because there will always be somebody looking for something. I saw somebody talk about Clint Eastwood earlier, but I picked up the Al Pacino auto at the card show, and this was bought at a card show. There's no eBay comps for this, so it's like I'm trying to buy stuff that doesn't have eBay comps, and my end game is the National for a lot of this stuff because I will be able to deal on a one-to-one basis. I'll be able to name my price. People won't be able to go back and be like, oh, what's that comping for? What did the last 10 sales on eBay look like? Well, there aren't any because even a lot of the stuff that I'm buying is show-to-show stuff. Stuff I bought in Dallas and stuff I bought in Philly, I intend to move at the National. That's the way that's was my thinking when those started. And so I was buying stuff at those shows, whether it's like I bought the Jackie because I wanted to have a historical card. So I bought the Jackie Robinson, but even if it's like I picked up a Baker Mayfield, this is numbered out of 75, copper prism. Like I'll move that at the National when football is getting popular.
Is that
stuff like this
courtside? Was that rookie courtside?
This is a rookie field level copper.
I'm sorry,
numbered out of 75, and then this is a Tyler Hero. And I know a lot of people aren't big fans of him, but this is a red disco, so color match, parallel, numbered out of 49. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, you may not like Tyler Hero, but somebody at the National will. You know what I mean?
Look, and he's not dead. He's just had a bad season.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, I'll be able to go up to a table, and if somebody likes this, I'll be able to tell them what I want for it, as opposed to them telling me the comps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's my new strategy, is trying to find stuff where I can go up to a table. This is what I want for this card. There's no comps. Either they like my price or they negotiate me off my price. However, I know where I'm comfortable at with a profit margin. They don't know what I paid for a card. So, that's my new strategy, is basically buying and selling in person with rare items, because that stuff's not really good for eBay. It's not as liquid. You'll put it out to buy it now and it'll sit for a long time. I've had my Brady, like this Brady white mosaic. I've had it since Dallas, but I intend on moving this. Somebody at the National will be looking to complete the rainbow on this.
Yep.
So, I put this on eBay. It's got like 20 watchers. but nobody's going for my buy it now because my buy it now is like 5K. I don't expect
I'm looking at it right now, Steve.
Yeah, are you? Yeah, I don't expect 5K for this unless somebody just wanted to impulse buy it because I plan on selling this at the National.
Yeah.
Even if I get cash and trade for it, as long as it's as long as I'm getting back more than I put into it.
Yeah.
All right, I put 2,500 into this. So if I go to the National and like somebody's like, I give you 35, I'll give you 25 cash and 1,000 trade, then I'll do that. I'm getting my cash back and I'm getting inventory on top of it. Just whatever, because I can I can go up to them and say, hey, I want 5K for this. And if they negotiate me down to 3,500, to them, that's a win.
Yeah.
And it's also a win on my side because I know I'm walking away 1,000 up.
Yeah.
To them, they're getting a $1,500 deal. So both people walk away happy. That's the way that I'm attacking the market right now, because and rarity and scarcity doesn't mean liquidity. Okay, the stuff is harder to move. The stuff is harder to move, but you just got to find the right person. And to be honest, I've been losing eBay auctions.
If you don't have to sell, like you appear to have a business sense that you've talked about before. You have a budget for this. It's separate from your lifetime budget. People mix those two, right? When they're chasing that, hey man, I got to be able to get more card money, or I got to be able to pay this bill. Then they have to sell cards. If you're patient, you're right. It's a patient man's game. It's patient on grading. It's patient on waiting to sell. It's patient on, what products to go after, not just chasing the product because it's hot and it's out this week. Patience is a virtue, and it helped a lot in the hobby.
Yeah. Well, and another thing I'll do, like if I am attacking a show recently, I've just got back into the show groove. So now I'm like feeling it. But, and that's another thing I want to talk about in the market. A lot of people are talking about the market's down, eBay sales are down, prices are down. But a lot of people, what we don't see, what charts and graphs don't show you, is what's being traded and bought and sold at these shows. Just for me, for instance, I showed you a couple cards that I picked up in Philly. I paid $1,000 for that Jackie Robinson. That was $1,000 transaction that's not popping up on Market Movers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I sold over $1,000 worth of inventory. The first thing I did when I walked in the door, I think the fourth table I stopped at, the guy was like, hey, what do you got in your case? And I said to him, I said, are you buying or are you trading? And he was like, I'm buying. I said, okay, you can take a look. If he was looking to trade, I'm going to look in his showcase first and see if it's even worth going in on a trade. He may not have anything that I want.
Yeah.
But if he's saying, hey, I'm buying, I'm bullish right now, then I'm going to be like, here you go, take a look at my stuff. So
I'll tell you, you're right about that. The area I think about is Facebook groups. I know there's some solid Facebook groups that continue to churn. A lot of it is the razzing. A lot of it is selling, but you're right. That heartbeat is not pausing at all. There's plenty of velocity going on in those groups. It's not as much on, you're right, in the eBays.
I've done a lot of transactions on My Slabs lately. I moved an item for $1,600. I made a sale on My Slabs, and I just started My Slabs this week. I've already sold an item on there for $1,600.
Yeah, that's a great platform.
And I was only charged $16 a commission.
Yeah, that's a great platform. I'm glad you mentioned.
I can't believe there's not more people using that platform right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that more people don't use them either. I would say, I'll be honest, I've bought off them. I have not listed. The listing for me was a pain in the butt. And maybe things have changed a lot since then. But I remember the listing was not as easy as an eBay listing is very easy to do. Their listing was more cumbersome. You had to crop the pictures and there's certain requirements or something. So I'll have to check it out again. But
other than the pictures, it's way easier to list on My Slabs because you don't have to go through the adding in all the little tags, search engine stuff. You just type in the title of your card. That's it. You crop your pictures in.
Can you put in there PSA 10 ?
Well, the thing is it's only slabbed cards. You can't. It's only graded. So
you can't put like HGA PSA crossover.
But see, mainly you're searching players on there. You're not really searching. Like what I do is I type, because the database isn't so huge that you got to have a narrow search. A lot of times I just go to the new page and scroll down it to see what's been listed today. Or I type in a specific sport or a specific player and just look at all the listings.
I'll tell you, I'm surprised that these data platforms haven't plugged into those things as well, like StarStock, My Slabs, to pull sales data, or to show you what's selling on those platforms. Because you're right, there's a lot of sales going on that people don't even see. You know,
I've bought a $2,000 card off my slabs. I've sold a $1,600 card. I've bought a $2,000 card. I bought a $450 card. I mean, I've made more transactions. Well, I don't know if that's true because I went hard on eBay the last like 2 days. There was a lot of stuff ending that I was in on, and I've lost stuff. Here, I'm bidding and I'm losing. That's also telling me that the market, there is some lifeblood there, because I would be winning all these auctions at good deals if people weren't outbidding me on them. And also, like I stated this morning, the market was reactive. For the first time this whole NBA playoffs, the market was reactive. The market reacted to Terrence Mann, and the market reacted to Giannis. All these other players have been playing great. Trey, when Luka was playing great, Kevin Durant, when these guys were still in it and still playing, the market wasn't reacting to them at all.
Well, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a reaction this year because somebody's going to win a ring that wasn't expected. And I will say, I am going to cut this off because we're down the last 2 minutes. I don't know if you guys are watching the game. You should be watching this. Atlanta's up, I think, by 4 with 2 minutes left right now. Trey is not playing great. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I'll be super quick, but this is one point that I just wanted to mention because nobody else is mentioning it.
4 points.
The basketball market is going down, and the football market is holding steady and rising. That's because people are excited for football, and we didn't have a basketball offseason. People are tired of basketball. If we had a full offseason, people would be hyped. They would feel like
you're right.
They would feel like, hey, we need our basketball. We need our basketball. But there was barely an offseason. It's like we had back-to-back seasons. People are just tired of it. And football has generated so much excitement because people can't wait to get it.
We have a strong rookie class coming in. You also have a long season. You're going to have fans in the stadiums. I think football is going to be big this year. I do agree. Mm-hmm. Football is going to hold the hobby strong.
But, I think if you take basketball away for like 5 months, wait for a full offseason, then when it comes back around, it's going to have more excitement than it did of having this month and a half off that they had.
It will be. I agree with you. I think I need some peace and quiet from basketball, and I look forward to football. So,
anyway,
guys, to close on that, I do want to watch into the game. I really appreciate you being on here, guys. Thank you as well in the chat for joining tonight. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Check out Michael Ham's channel if you haven't already. Check out Flipping Steve's live tomorrow night, right? Monday nights, 9:00.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll be doing his live chat when he's driving to work next time too, guys. So check him out. Please share support in the hobby. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Have a great day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I don't know who I want to win, but I'm super excited to watch this game. So
what's the score? No score. What is the score?
I've scored. They're up by 4. 2 minutes, and the who is it? The Hawks are up by 4.
The Hawks are up. Uh-oh.
Yeah, 93-89. Ben Simmons just missed his first free throw from the line. He's
big surprise.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm saying, really exciting here. Minute 48. Okay, I'm ending.